Hello and welcome to our podcast, The Mystic Sisters, with Sarah and Kerry, where we talk about magical and spiritual topics each week. And today's episode, we're talking about the autumn equinox, which will be taking place on the 23rd of September 2023. And Kerry's going to talk to us now about the equinox.
The fall equinox is when the veil thins, and it's been a tradition for many spiritual practitioners since old times to honor their deceased lineage and their loved ones. The veil will be thin from fall equinox until Halloween, making access to the other side much easier to communicate with the dead. The fall equinox is a potent portal, and it's when the veil is thin. And because of its potency, it's a good day to do manifestations or contacting your ancestors. Some spiritual practitioners may have an altar set up and put belongings or pictures of their deceased loved ones to try to help with the communication. And our ancestors that have passed on, they want to help us, and they're able to pass on knowledge as well as give us healing and some of their energy. So it's good to call on them for that. So the fall equinox is a big day in the spiritual community because we have ways that day to tap into the energy. And it's good to set up an altar with pictures, belongings of ancestors, candles, incense, offerings, such as maybe snacks or things like that for our ancestors. And since the veil is low, it's really important to protect your energy. And protecting your energy, there's some old ways that they used to do it, and I use it right now. One tradition is like taking like small brooms. You can hang it above your door so no negative energy can come through. I actually have some scarecrows on my door because it wards off negative energy, and I have that up year round. But and then also like brooms in the kitchen, but the old style brooms I have, like the wooden ones, and they are good for protection to have near your door. And you could use talismans as well. I also like the evil eye as protection and cinnamon sticks. And it's kind of funny when you think about it, like for fall and even Halloween, just how many protection symbols that we really do have. What do you think, Sarah, about that? Like even the pumpkin, because the pumpkin, they used to carve a face in the pumpkin to scare away evil spirits.
Yeah. During the ancient times, people who were more connected to nature and they were aware of spirit and different energies, and they were more in tune with the earth, so they were more in tune with the spirit, and they knew the importance of warning away the negative energies.
That makes sense. What are your ideas about equinox? Because you said that there's other ancient customs and things with equinox as well, right?
Yes, as I'm a Celtic person, I've done my research on the ancient Celts and my Celtic ancestors, and they would have honoured the season as the time of the harvest, of when the last harvest of the year, they would be able to gather the crops. They would express their gratitude and honour what they were able to harvest this year. They would take this time to reflect. We've got the two equinoxes in the year. There's the spring equinox and the autumn equinox. And then the spring equinox is when it's the time where there's new growth, where we're looking ahead and thinking about what we want to achieve. And in the ancient times, they would have been, because they had a focus on farming and living off the land, so they would have been celebrating this time of year when new life, planting seeds for the year ahead. And then the autumn time, they will be reflecting on that time and counting their blessings for what they've had this year, and they would review their year. This is a time of introspection as well as gratitude, of giving thanks to what we've received. Is also a time of reflection, thinking about how we would change going forward, what's worked for us, and what we want to work on going forward for the rest of the year. And so this is a good time for journaling. You may want to do a gratitude journal where you give thanks for what you've received this year, and you may want to journal about how you want to improve, what you want to work on for the rest of the year. This time of year, it marks the return of darkness as we're entering into the darker half of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. And during this time, people are indoors more because it's darker, so we are going within. And so this is a good time for meditation. It's a good time for learning and doing inner work, healing. And so we can take this time during this year thinking about what we want to bring into our lives going forward. And it's the cozy season, so we're making ourselves cozy during this time of year, and we are focusing on comfort, being in our homes. We may want to decorate this time of year as well.
That's my black cat. He's trying to tell us something. He made me think of something too when he was trying to talk. He likes to talk. And I think what he wanted to say is when you mentioned decorating, there's like cleansing rituals you could do, kind of like, you know, people talk about spring cleaning. You should do it for the fall, kind of cleanse everything good. And, you know, try to take out your fall decorations, put away the old stuff, some of it, and try to put out some new things, even a new candle. But cleansing the house is another way of protection, like getting rid of the old energy to bring in the new.
Because it's this time of letting go, so letting go of what no longer serves us. And so it is a good time to put extra protection around our homes. And also we may want to look at what we want to get rid of in our lives. It could be physical items, or it could be aspects of our lives that are no longer serving us. There may be things that we need to let go of so we can focus more on our growth.
That's true. And then it feels like it's a time of healing too. And then I got this vision when you were just talking about customs and stuff. I had a vision of like past, like in the old days, what they would do on the equinox is they liked celebrating it with the fire, like a bonfire. Yeah. And they liked to have a gathering, and they would, I don't know, I saw berries or different herbs and stuff they would put in there. I don't know if they were doing maybe spells or rituals, trying to like pray maybe to the gods and just to ask, you know, for blessings and things like that. So they would just throw things into a fire.
Yeah, fire is very cleansing. So and also, as this was a darker time of the year, the time where it gets colder, it's about keeping warm and gathering people that we love around us.
I love fires too. That is such a neat idea to have like a bonfire, but to throw things in it. Sometimes you can make wishes that way too. Like you can write down what you want, your intentions, and throw it in the fire. I do little rituals like that, things that I want, like to manifestations. There's a couple ways I do it. Sometimes I'll burn it and then just let it sprinkle off to the heavens, you know, in the air. Or you can bury your wishes too, or throw them in the fire.
You can also write about things that you want to let go of as well, and you check in the fire. So if something is upsetting you, there may be an event from your past that is upsetting you, and then you may want to write about it, and then check into the fire, and the energy will cleanse it and help you with letting go of those emotions.
That's a good idea too. Yeah, that's a really good idea about that. I love doing stuff like that, you know, having little rituals like that to like let go and release, you know.
Yeah, you're talking about the wishes, and then just reminding me of birthday cakes, and then that we blow out the candles to make a wish. So fire is a very powerful energy.
It is. That's why they always say light a candle when you're trying to talk to spirit or, you know, even your ancestors, because it's so powerful.
Yeah, we can change the energy with the flame.
That's true. And then there's so many, I never really thought about it till this year. Thinking about fall equinox all the way to Halloween, there's so many protection symbols, like besides the scarecrows scaring off the energy or the pumpkins carving in like a scary face to scare it away, but cinnamon, you eat simple cinnamon sticks I've got around my place, and brooms are protection. And
Yeah,
think about all the things that we use are either protections or a symbol. Like skeletons are a symbol of communicating with our dead ancestors. So there's so much like hidden
yeah.
wisdom in the decorations.
And there's holly as well. As you go up to Christmas time, there's holly for protection.
That's true too. Yeah, they use so much protection. I wonder why that is though. Is it just because of, people's energy, like humans, the mainly like the
Because we're going into this darker half of the year, also the veil being lifted, and people tend to feel unsafe at this time of year, I think, in the past, because there's less light around them. Emphasis on hibernation, people going within and spending more time indoors, and they wanted to protect their homes.
that makes sense. That really does make a lot of sense. And when I was doing like a big cleansing and like cleaning all of, everything in my place and then putting out, the fall equinox and Halloween decorations, I felt the energy shift. It felt better. It really did. It's like as I was going through and putting things out, it made me feel better. Like I even bought new, because I love pine cones. So I bought new pine cones with cinnamon scents, and they just filled the air in here, and it just brought in a big change of energy. It kind of made me feel better. It was like lifting my spirits of using like the fall decorations and everything. It just kind of made me really happy too. And using like the cinnamon sticks, and like I think I went overboard in cinnamon. That's all you could smell. I got cinnamon candles. That's all you can smell in here. It's like I'll be sitting around and I'm like, man, that's all I can smell is cinnamon.
It sounds nice. I love the smell of cinnamon.
Me too. I'm obsessed with it.
Kelly's done a lot of decorating recently, decorating for this season. Do you want to tell everyone about your decorations?
Okay. Yeah, I have it starts with I'll start with my door. Like I have like little, it's really cute. It's like a little wreath, and it looks like it's hay, and then there's little scarecrows on it, but I actually leave that up all year round because it wards off negative energy. And then I have like a little broom above my door, like a small wooden one, and that does the same thing. But I bought a bigger broom, the old school, like the wooden one from like, I don't know, the 1500s, the ones that the old wooden ones that are like kind of strung together. And that smells like cinnamon. So I got that to like right across from my door to promote like, just keeping the negative energy away. And then I have like a little wooden, I call it like a little altar in my kitchen. So when you first walk in, I bought some new pine cones, and they're all scented with cinnamon, and I have them like in this little glass bowl. And then I put in there's there's an evil eye in the center to kind of ward off the energy. And then I bought a cute little sign that says harvest. And I like acorns too, because I feel like they're another protection symbol. So I bought some cute little colored orange acorns to put all around. And I put a wooden stick on my altar. And then I have this dish that has sage and palo santo, and I put some acorns in that as well. And then on the wall, I bought a white pumpkin, and that says like, I think it says autumn, no, grateful. Maybe it says, no, blessed. Blessed it says, sorry. I've got too many signs up now. But the white pumpkin says blessed. And then I have like a little wreath, and it has it's just like green fake leaves with a butterfly. And I try to bring like a lot of the earth because I wanted to be really connected. It would to me, because like fall represents the earth, mother nature and things. So I try to bring as much earth energy in my place as I could so I could feel more grounded and safe. And then I put up some cute little Halloween signs too that say welcome. And it has like little, it looks like little potion bottles and like a little skeleton. And then I even made some glass bottles that I thought were pretty. They were old little olive oil bottles, and I put some holy water in them as extra protection. And I have a jar that has cinnamon because I like the way the little bottles look. And then I have one that has like salts in it because that's another way to protect your energy. And I think the bottles look cute because they're just Halloween looking. So I did, it took me a lot, it was a lot of work kind of trying to put all this together and to do a big cleaning. Because when I say cleaning, I was like taking out aromatherapy oils like lemon verbena and lavender and like wiping everything down, scrubbing everything down. Like it's probably the biggest cleansing that I've ever done because I felt the energy and that we're going to be going into a time where, you know, we're going through ascension and other things on the earth besides the equinox coming. So I really like saged everything, opened up the windows and just try to like promote new energy in here. And I bought some new candles because I think it's good to incorporate new things, buying a few new things for the fall equinox. So I got some new cinnamon candles, some pumpkin candles, and because it's a good way to communicate with spirit. And I put up my Halloween decorations already too, like some little pumpkin signs. And I have a harvest sign, like one says autumn, and then one just says grateful. That's kind of cute too. So I'm already decorating not only for the equinox, but for Halloween. I've been busy. I've been exhausting myself over here. That's why I'm so tired all the time. Besides work, that's all I do when I get out of work. I even made Halloween pillows already. I made Jack and Sally Halloween pillows because I'm like, I just want to really get into Halloween this year. And the funny thing is I haven't sewed since I was a kid and I didn't watch any directions. I just did it out of I'm like, I'm just putting together some pillows now too.
Cool.
Then my cats, I put a new couch cover because my cats ruined the old one. So then they started to scratch the couch cover. So I took some of my Jack and Sally Nightmare Before Christmas decorations. And now I'm kind of incorporating that into my couch. So I might have a Halloween couch before it's over. Let's just say I'm like going over the top this year for Halloween. I even decorated my windows. I was like, I put little glow in the dark skeletons up already. Have you started?
No, not yet. We've actually got a heat wave in the UK at the moment, so it feels like summer now. But yeah. It's weird because the leaves are falling, but it's really hot at the same time, and it looks like autumn, but it feels hot. But I am starting to, even though I'm enjoying the sunshine, I'm starting to think about planning for equinox and buying teas and things that make me feel cozy, books and things I can do over the autumn. Trying to embrace that cozy season, because when I think of autumn, I think of autumn or fall. I think of putting a blanket on and reading books or watching happy films and drinking a hot drink, drinking tea or hot chocolate, and just feeling cozy.
What kind of books would you recommend, like for fall reading, like around this time?
I'm trying to find some at the moment. Trying to find some that inspire me. I have been buying some spiritual self-help books, but also I'm looking for fiction books. I've been looking for autumn ones. I have been looking at books that sound quite uplifting, cozy, and also I like the mysteries as well. So it's if when you're inside and it's raining outside, and sometimes it's nice to read a mystery. It keeps you focused, and you just want to keep reading until you find out what happens next.
Yeah. You know, I do the same thing as far as books. The ones I'm reading right now are more like self-help spiritual books, or that's what I'm more reading right now. But I agree, I like mysteries or something like related to Halloween or fall would be nice right now, and like cozy blankets like you said, and I love tea too. And you're right, it is the summer. I kind of got off my thing of drinking tea that much, but now this season is when you really want the tea and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
what do you
it's
really
nice.
drink for like fall tea?
Well, I've got quite a variety of different kinds. I've got a cupboard full of different kinds of tea, and I also got coffee in there as well. And probably have too much tea, but I've got English breakfast tea, Earl Grey tea. I've got herbal teas, fruity teas. I like the spicy teas, like spicy apple tea.
Ooh,
It's nice at
yeah.
this time of year. Yeah, and chai tea is nice as well because you've got all the spices in it.
Have you ever tried yogi tea? It's a brand and it's really good.
Yeah, I've had some of the teas before, and it's so nice because you've got the message on them when
Yeah.
you on the piece of card that's on the tea. There's a nice uplifting message on there, and as you're drinking the tea, you can reflect on the message.
Yeah, that's what I like. I actually have their lemon ginger tea right now. I got to get some more tea, speaking of tea, but right now I'm mainly into the lemon ginger and some mint teas. But they have a really yogi tea has a good one. It's called Detox, and there's cinnamon spice, but there's juniper berries in it. The only thing I have to remember is not to drink too much of it because I'll get sick because it's a detox tea.
Yeah,
I didn't read the directions and I'll never forget like that day, but it's like I was literally drinking it like a few times a day because I felt like I couldn't stop. I'm like, I love this tea. And I got so super sick, and I reached out to the company. They're like, yeah, you're really not supposed to have that much. And I'm super sensitive anyway, so like anything could, irritate my stomach and stuff. But yeah, just I got to remember to calm down when I drink it.
yeah, yeah. Try to make sure you read the box of tea and make sure that that if it's a detox tea, that you're not drinking too much of it.
That's so true.
They they have got a calming tea. I can't think of what it's called, but I used to drink that, and it had I think it was lemon verbena in it,
Yeah,
and it was and lavender, and it was really relaxing. I can't think of what it was called now, but
I
I
think
used
it
to.
is calming tea. I think I've had that. It's really good.
Need to get some more of it because I found it was really relaxing. I've also tried the chai teas as well. They're really nice.
Yeah, I got to get more. I love, not you just reminded me, I got to buy more lavender tea. I'm out. I love lavender tea. That's a good one
Yeah,
too.
yeah, and rose tea as well.
I never had rose tea.
And you can get the specialty with the rosebuds in it. So if you've got used,
Really?
they connect with beauty, and they're very calming as well. It connects to the heart chakra. So if you need a boost to self love, it's nice to drink rose tea.
Where can you get that from? Because I haven't seen that here.
I think you can get them from like specialist shops. You've got health stores, health food stores. You might be able to get it from in there. Otherwise, you might have to look online.
Maybe Etsy?
Yeah, I actually have seen shops on Etsy selling herbal teas, homemade herbal teas with lavender in them and rose in them. So just take a look on Etsy.
I'll have to try that. Yeah, because I've always roses because they're like the highest vibration. I have like dried rose petals, but they're only really for decorations and stuff. The ones that I have, they're not really edible, but I love anything rose. Like I even have like rose aromatherapy perfume that I use to kind of raise my vibration at times. So that's a good idea to buy rose tea.
Yeah, yeah, it's connected. Rose is connected to the divine feminine.
That's a good idea. And you mentioned earlier before we started that the fall equinox is isn't there a big duality going on with the masculine and feminine?
Yeah, there's a balance between the masculine and feminine energies because this time of year, the daytime and nighttime are in balance. So there's the same number of hours in the nighttime as in the daytime. And the nighttime is connected to the feminine and the day is connected to the masculine. So there's a balance in these energies at this time of year. The sun obviously connected to the summer and that's masculine energy, and it's where there's more action happening. And then the winter, it's connected to the feminine because there's the introspection. So during the equinoxes, both times of the year, there's a balance between those energies.
That makes sense. And you know what it reminded me of when you said that the feminine at night, because the moon represents feminine and the sun represents masculine. I heard it was some spiritual channel I was watching, and she was saying in the tarot deck, the sun card represents masculine energy or divine masculine, and then the moon would represent feminine energy or divine feminine. And I never knew that really. I didn't really think that much into it until a woman was talking about that, but I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So we can make the most of that balance of energies because we are seeing the masculine energy, the summer is waning, and the introspective energy, intuitive energy of the winter and the feminine is increasing. So we're kind of in the middle, and we are moving into that introspective time now.
What would you say would be the best way on the day of the equinox to really tap into the energy?
Well, with the energy of the sun, of the masculine, this energy is connected with action, doing things. So by going into nature, going for walks, you're appreciating of what's around you. You're expressing gratitude at this time of year because you're looking at the beauty around you, but you're also taking action, exercising, going into the outdoors. And you may want to vocalize your gratitude because the masculine energy is outward expression, is very outward, while the feminine is inward. So expressing how you feel, talking to your loved ones, or just saying it to God, to the universe, saying out loud what you are grateful for. That's how you can harness the energies of the masculine. And with the feminine, this is a good time for meditating. So you may want to meditate with these energies, meditate on what you want to let go of, and you may want to also journal as well. That's writing down what you want to let go of, and writing down your feelings at this time of year and what you want to work on going forward.
That's a really good idea about doing that. Like maybe getting a separate book or like a little journal book just for like that alone, like your manifestations or what you want to let go of or what you want to bring into your life. What do you think about tapping into nature on that day? Like I was thinking of, I go to a labyrinth and I feel like that kind of connects me to the fall equinox. What do you think about stuff like that, like going outside too?
Yes, that sounds really nice. Going somewhere that makes you feel magical, because there's lots of magical places around us.
That's true. Yeah, being outside trying to connect to the earth would be a good idea. I really want to have a bonfire, but where I am, I can't really do it because I'm in an apartment complex. But I would like to go somewhere to have a nice big bonfire to kind of celebrate it, you know? That would be fun.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
And just kind of like throwing just different items, maybe sage or just things in there for blessings or whatever, you know?
It sounds really nice.
Are you going to do that? Will you do the bonfire around that time?
I'd like to if I'm able to. In the UK in November, we've got bonfire nights. We do have bonfires and fireworks during November, on the 5th of November. So cool. That's an opportunity to be around other people and to to embrace the season, to embrace this season and this time of year.
You know, what's funny is that right now we're in retrograde, and that retrograde is going to hit. I think the retrograde's done around the 15th, and then fall equinox is the 23rd. So it's very strange energies, because it's like we've got the retrograde, which is tearing apart like faulty foundations and things. And then it's coming right up into that equinox energy. So it's kind of funny the way it's happening this year, isn't it? Like,
yeah, there is a lot of destructive and energy at the moment. There's a lot of miscommunications and anger around, but it is very interesting. I know we're going to the equinox, and hopefully we can let go of that energy as we go into the season.
I call it, whenever there's a retrograde, it's like breakup season. Because I'm seeing that a lot around me. There's a lot of breakups going on with people. You know, there's breakups going on, and like you said, miscommunication, but mainly things falling apart that we're on a faulty foundation. But it seems also mechanical stuff, computer things going on right now. And like you said, kind of like a chaotic energy is going around right now.
Yeah, it's very chaotic, and some people are getting quite angry, and it's just stirring up a lot of emotions.
That's true. That's so true. It's like, you know, I've sensed that in the air all the time. And it's funny because I've been trying to connect to nature more, but when I go out there, it's the people that I'm sensing. I'm picking up on this anger. You know, there's a lot of anger right now and frustration with people. And I feel it. And it's hard when I go outside, I start to get really anxious. And I'm not usually like that outside. Usually I feel better. So I have to go now. I have to go to isolated places where there won't be people just so I could feel at peace, you know?
Yeah. Yes, it is very important now to put up your protection. Thank you for listening to our podcast this week, and we'll be back again next week for our next edition of the Mystic Sisters.